Emotional exhaustion does not always announce itself loudly. Think about that carefully. It does not always look like collapse. Sometimes it looks like functioning. People still show up. Still smile. Still complete daily responsibilities. But internally, something feels drained. Heavy. Slowed down. And over time, that hidden exhaustion begins to shape everything. The way people think. The way they react. The way they connect with others. And even the way they see themselves. Many people do not realize they are emotionally exhausted until the effects become unavoidable. Small frustrations feel bigger. Simple decisions feel harder. Patience becomes shorter. Joy feels distant. And motivation begins to fade without a clear explanation. But emotional exhaustion rarely appears suddenly. It builds quietly. Through long periods of pressure. Unresolved stress. Constant responsibility. And carrying more than the mind was designed to hold without rest. Think about that carefully. Modern life amplifies this silently. People are constantly available. Constantly responding. Constantly processing information. Constantly comparing. Constantly expected to keep moving forward without pause. And many people become emotionally depleted without ever naming it. Now consider something important. Emotional exhaustion has a hidden cost. It affects relationships. People withdraw without realizing why. They become less present. Less patient. Less emotionally available. Not because they do not care. But because they have nothing left to give internally. It also affects decision-making. When the mind is exhausted, clarity weakens. Simple choices feel overwhelming. The future feels uncertain even when nothing has actually changed externally. And perhaps most importantly, emotional exhaustion affects identity. People begin to question themselves. Why am I like this? Why do I feel empty? Why can't I handle things like before? And slowly, exhaustion begins to be mistaken for personal failure. But think about that carefully. Exhaustion is not identity. It is a condition. A state that signals something has been overextended for too long. Now think about scripture. Even faithful people experienced emotional depletion. Think about Elijah. After a powerful moment of victory, he became deeply exhausted emotionally. Fear overwhelmed him. Isolation followed. And he reached a point where he wanted to give up. Think about that carefully. Victory did not prevent exhaustion. That reveals something important. Even strong seasons do not eliminate human limits. Now think about David. His writings reveal emotional strain. Moments of discouragement. Moments of heaviness. Moments where he cried out in distress. Yet he is remembered as a man of faith. That matters. Because emotional struggle and faith are not opposites. They often coexist in deeply human ways. Now consider something many people overlook. Emotional exhaustion often hides behind productivity. People stay busy to avoid feeling the weight they are carrying. They keep moving. Keep working. Keep serving others. Because slowing down might reveal how tired they truly are. But avoidance does not heal exhaustion. It only delays recognition. Eventually, the body and mind begin to signal what has been ignored for too long. Fatigue increases. Focus decreases. Emotions feel harder to regulate. And even small pressures feel overwhelming. Now think about this carefully. One of the hidden costs of emotional exhaustion is disconnection. People disconnect from others, from themselves, and sometimes even from their sense of purpose. Not intentionally, but gradually, silently, because there is no internal energy left to stay fully engaged. And maybe that is why some people feel like they are watching life instead of living it. Now here is an important truth. Emotional exhaustion is not solved by pushing harder. It is not healed by ignoring it. And it is not overcome by pretending it does not exist. Rest is not weakness. Recovery is not failure. Stillness is not laziness. Sometimes restoration requires stepping back before stepping forward again. Think about that carefully. Even creation narratives in scripture include rhythm, work and rest, action and pause, movement and renewal. Now consider something many people struggle with. They feel guilty for needing rest. They feel guilty for slowing down. They feel guilty for not being as emotionally available as before. But guilt does not restore energy. Rest does. Support does. Honesty does. Now think about Jesus. He withdrew from crowds. He stepped away from demands. He created space for rest and solitude. Think about that carefully. If rest was part of a healthy rhythm even for him, then rest is not optional for human beings. It is necessary. Now maybe someone listening feels emotionally exhausted right now. If so, remember this. You are not broken because you are tired. You are not failing because you need rest. And you are not less valuable because your emotional energy is low. You may simply be carrying more than you were designed to carry alone for too long. So the real question is not, why do I feel like this? Maybe the real question is, what would it look like to allow myself to recover instead of continuing to drain myself? Think about that carefully. Because the hidden cost of emotional exhaustion is not just fatigue. It is the slow erosion of peace, clarity, and inner strength. But recovery is still possible. And healing often begins when people finally stop ignoring what their soul has been trying to say for a long time. If this message encouraged you, subscribe to Grace Unseen for more hope-filled biblical truths, emotional healing, and life-changing wisdom from Scripture. And before you go, leave a comment below. What has emotional exhaustion taught you about your limits and your need for rest? Your story may help someone else who feels silently overwhelmed today.